Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing how I make the ultimate spaghetti bolognese sauce. So the amount I'm going to make today is actually double quantities, and I always love to batch cook because it just means you can pop one in the fridge or in the freezer and it's going to help your future self out, I promise you. So all the quantities that I'm going to list below, like I said, are going to be for 2 portions, or if there's less than 4 of you in a family, then it might even stretch to 3. So let's get cooking. The first thing I am going to do is just pop a bit of oil into my wok. I'm using a wok because, like I said, we're going to be using lots of ingredients, so I need a big capacity pot here. So I have got some diced chorizo. I've just sort of like cut it into rounds, and then I've cut each round into 4. So I'm going to pop that in, and I'm just going to brown that off and cook it through until it goes nice and crispy. Whenever I cook chorizo, I always like to retain all the fats that come off the sausage because I feel like that is where so much of your flavor comes from in this sauce. Right, so now what we're going to do is we are going to go in with 500 grams of steak mince, but we're also going to add in 500 grams of pork mince too. So in here, we've obviously got chorizo now, we've got beef mince, and we've got pork mince. This is just going to make your ultimate bolognese sauce absolutely incredible. So I'm just going to break all of that up in here, and then I'm just going to cook it off until it's browned. So now your meat is all browned off. I use lean meat whenever I cook with meat. So I've got like a 20% fat meat. And so there's not much liquid that's actually come off here. But if you find that you have got quite a lot of excess liquid in here, then you can just drain some of that off. Simply do that by getting a tablespoon and then just sort of getting some of the liquid out into a mug. So like I said, I haven't got that, so I'm just going to keep everything that is off the meat in here. So now what I'm going to do is go in with an onion. I've got 3 cloves of garlic in here, and I've also got diced up mushrooms. This is my Russell Hobbs onion dicer, and I love it so much. I'll link it down below in my description box. My kids are not big fans of mushrooms, which is why I blitz them up nice and small with the onion so they can't see them. And then what I've also got is 2 carrots that I have just diced up quite finely as well, and also 2 celery sticks cut up finely too. Just give that a mix around, combining it with all your meat. And then you want to go in with the sauce. So what I have got here is 1 tin of chopped tomatoes. And then because I've still got some left in here, I'm just going to rinse it out a little. 2 tablespoons of tomato puree. And then what I feel is like a little secret ingredient is whenever we have a roast or anything like that, I always get the bones at the end and I boil them up to make a delicious broth. So this is actually chicken, but honestly, it's not going to make this dish taste of chicken. It's just going to give a lovely bit of depth to this, and also loads of goodness too. This broth is basically instead of a stock cube. So if you don't have a broth, just add 1 vegetable stock cube or beef stock cube or pork stock cube into here with about 200 mils of water. Right, finally, we're going to add some mixed herbs and some basil as well. A generous amount of salt and pepper. Give it all a mix together. And then what you want to do is pop your lid on and let this simmer for a good 20 minutes, just occasionally stirring in between. Right, so now this has been simmering for 20 minutes. You're now ready to take the lid off. Give it another stir, and then you want to leave it to simmer for 10 to 15 minutes with the lid off, and that's just going to reduce your sauce down and make this really lovely and thick. So give it one last stir, and you can leave it there. And while that is simmering for the last 10 to 15 minutes, you can then cook up your pasta. Okay, so my pasta is cooked. I've just drained it quickly, and then this sauce has reduced down so much as well. So the final thing I'm going to add to it is some double cream. So I've got half a cup here of double cream, which is about 125 mils. I'm just going to pour that in. Stay with me on this one, okay? Honestly, it is really good. Combine everything together, and then simply you're ready to serve. Of course, the only thing that's left to do now is to give it a little taste. Oh my God, that chorizo makes it. Honestly, that is delicious. Simply divine.